Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for April 14th, 2025. Firstly, the U.S. government has granted temporary tariff exemptions on key electronics, including smartphones and computers, in a surprise move that sparked a rebound in Asian tech stocks. This development is seen as a positive step forward for tech companies like Apple, which relies heavily on imports from China. Secondly, we've been following the ongoing trade saga between the U.S. and its global partners, with twists and turns leaving many uncertain about what's next. The exemptions come as a relief to consumers who are bracing for potential price hikes on iPhones and other electronic devices. However, experts caution that the situation remains fluid, with details still emerging on the scope and duration of the exemptions. Lastly, we're focusing on a developing story in South Korea, where ousted leader Yoon Suk Yeol has begun his criminal trial for insurrection. The charges stem from Yoon's brief declaration of martial law late last year, which was met with widespread opposition and ultimately led to his removal from office. We've spoken to experts who raise concerns about the politicization of the military and the potential breakdown in the chain of command. That's all for tonight's summary. We'll continue to provide updates and analysis on these stories as they unfold. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. That's all for now. I'm Walter, and this is the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here's Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Good evening, I'm Barbara, and this is the AI Daily Press evening podcast. Here's a brief summary of our top now for the latest in business and finance. Here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm your host, Louis. We've had a busy day in the world of finance, with several major stories making headlines. Firstly, we spoke with Saurav Mukherjee, founder of Marcellus Investment Managers, who shared his insights on the current market trend. He believes that the panic and stress in the U.S. markets are overdone, and that a relief rally is likely as countries like Japan, Europe, and India move towards bilateral trade deals with America. However, he cautioned that the Chinese piece remains a troublesome one. In other news, Goldman Sachs reported record revenue in the first quarter of the year, driven primarily by its equities trading division. The bank's shares jumped 3% in early New York trading after it announced a share buyback program worth up to $40 billion. We also saw some significant movements in individual stocks, with Apple shares jumping 2% in pre-market trading after the U.S. administration temporarily exempted phones, computers, and chips from its so-called reciprocal tariffs. On the other hand, Pfizer shares fell 1% in pre-market trading after the pharmaceutical company announced that it was stopping development of its obesity pill. Finally, Intel shares rose 1% after the company agreed to sell a 51% stake in its programmable chips unit, Altera, to private equity firm Silver Lake Management. The deal values Altera at $7.5 billion and is seen as a positive development for Intel, which has been looking to divest non-core assets. As we navigate these ongoing trade tensions and economic uncertainty, it's essential to stay informed and up to date on the latest developments. We'll continue to bring you in-depth analysis and expert insights to help you make sense of it all. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to bringing you more news and updates tomorrow. That's all for now. Good evening. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the captivating world of meteorites and the people who are driven to understand them. From the preservation of these precious fragments of space history to the complexities of asteroid defense, we delved into the awe-inspiring beauty and complexity of the universe we inhabit. In our second story, we examine the potential use of nuclear explosions to protect our planet from asteroids on a collision course with Earth. Scientists are conducting experiments to determine the effectiveness of this method, and while it's still a highly debated topic, the goal is to develop a technology that could potentially save lives in the event of an asteroid threat. Lastly, we looked at a groundbreaking discovery about carbon-rich asteroids, which are some of the most primitive and ancient objects in our solar system. Researchers found that many of these asteroids break apart when passing close to the Sun, leaving only the hardiest ones to survive the intense heat and friction generated by atmospheric entry. This discovery has significant implications for future space missions and our understanding of the solar system. These stories remind us of the vast mysteries waiting to be uncovered in the universe, and the importance of continued exploration and research. Join us next time on the AI Daily Press as we delve into more fascinating stories from the world of science and technology. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now, for the latest in sports, here's Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. I'm your host, Howard, and we have a plethora of fascinating stories to delve into tonight. To summarize, our top stories include the Texas A&M Aggies' impressive performance in softball, with KK Dement being recognized as Co-Player of the Week by the CK. The team's commitment to excellence is evident, and fans are eagerly awaiting their next series against Missouri. In NFL news, the Miami Dolphins have been making bold moves in the latest draft simulations, eyeing top talent such as North Dakota State offensive lineman Gray Zabel and Penn State cornerback Joey Porter Jr. The team's potential picks will be closely watched as they aim to bolster their roster and make a push for the playoffs. Lastly, we've been following the story of U.S. star McKenna Cook, who has been championing the growth of flag football. Her dedication to the sport is truly commendable, and we'll continue to monitor her progress in the coming months. As we navigate the intricate world of sports, it's essential to acknowledge the complexities involved in these high-stakes decisions. Teams must weigh their options carefully, considering factors such as player potential, team needs, and long-term viability. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you more exciting stories in the days to come. Until next time, I'm your host, Howard, signing off from the AI Daily Press. Good night, and good luck to all the teams and players navigating the complex world of professional sports. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored the vibrant food scene in Brisbane, where local bakeries are offering unique twists on traditional hot cross buns for Easter. From classic sourdough to creative flavor combinations, there's something for every palate. In a more serious note, we shed light on a disturbing incident in Sri Lanka, where a young man named Athsattu Nimesh died under mysterious circumstances while in police custody. This tragic event has sparked widespread outrage and protests, with many demanding justice and accountability from the authorities. Lastly, we celebrated the art and creativity of Brisbane's hot cross bun scene, highlighting the perfect balance of spices, fluffiness of the dough, and sweetness of the fruit that makes a great hot cross bun. However, our most thought-provoking story tonight comes from the world of art, where we examine the work of a talented artist who is pushing boundaries and challenging social norms. Unfortunately, I realized that was not one of the stories tonight. Instead, we looked at the death of Athsattu Nimesh in Sri Lanka, which serves as a poignant reminder of the trust deficit between law enforcement and the communities they serve. As we move forward, it's essential to rebuild this trust by promoting transparency, accountability, and justice for all. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. We'll continue to bring you in-depth coverage of local and international news, as well as stories that inspire and educate. Until next time, good night, and let's strive for a world where human rights are respected and protected for all. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we tackled the controversy surrounding the Grammy Awards and the impact on album sales. Speaking of which, Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia is celebrating its 5th birthday with a remarkable surge in sales, over 5,000 copies sold in just 1 week. That's a whopping 355% increase. Next, we delve into the rich history behind the iconic Masters green jacket tradition. This exclusive garment has been a staple of the Augusta National Golf Club since 1949, and only reigning champions are allowed to remove their jacket from the clubhouse. And, fun fact, an authentic winning green jacket once sold for over $140,000 at auction. Lastly, we touched on the tumultuous world of celebrity feuds and their effects on music sales. From Dua Lipa's enduring success to the timeless appeal of the Masters green jacket, these stories showcase the power of tradition, excellence, and great storytelling. That's all for tonight, folks. Tune in tomorrow for more exciting updates from the world of entertainment, sports, and culture. I'm Joan, your host on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, stay fabulous and keep on dancing. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the breathtaking scenery of Bay City, which has captured the attention of the United Nations. This remarkable story highlights the importance of environmental conservation and sustainability, demonstrating how concerted efforts can create a harmonious coexistence between humans and nature, while also driving economic growth. Next, we delved into the incredible world of the Mexican burrowing toad, an amphibian with extraordinary adaptations that enable it to thrive in hostile environments. Unfortunately, this remarkable creature is facing threats due to habitat loss and water pollution, emphasizing the need for preserving biodiversity and protecting habitats. Lastly, we discussed a groundbreaking study published in Nature Communications, which sheds new light on the immunological underpinnings of adenoid hypertrophy and tonsil hypertrophy in children. The research reveals distinct patterns of T-cell and B-cell subpopulation distribution in each condition, providing a critical foundation for understanding the immunological mechanisms driving these conditions. These stories remind us of the importance of environmental conservation, preserving biodiversity, and advancing our understanding of complex medical conditions. We'll continue to provide in-depth coverage of these topics and more, so be sure to tune in to future editions of the AI Daily Press. Thank you for joining me this evening, and until next time, good night and stay informed. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.